People, how are we? I'm Tom. Let's talk about what next for Zhang. Given a rundown of the fight first and foremost, it went kind of how I thought it would. I was going into it thinking this is a really 50-50 fight. Zhang can knock him out, knock him down at any point, and he did. He knocked him down twice, which gave Parker a real hard job having to claw back from that, but he did. And I think, again, come the end of it, you're almost looking at it going, this was pretty one-sided. Parker's clearly, at least in terms of boxing, a lot better than Zhang, which is what I said would happen. I thought that would be the case. I thought looking at the Wilder performance, looking at Zhang's recent performances, I thought Zhang was being almost sugar-coated a bit, rose-tinted glasses a bit, because of the... Look at the Hrgovic performance, and it looks like he beat Hrgovic, which I think he beat Hrgovic. But Hrgovic is coming off of a 12-month layoff at the time, and it might have even been longer. And let's be honest, it wasn't a spectacular performance. Did he beat him? Yes. Was it the world's best boxing performance I've ever seen? Absolutely not. And that, I think, is important to remember, that actually he won, but it wasn't an easy job, and it was an awful fight. Awful's harsh, but it was sluggish. It was like they were walking in honey. It was not very entertaining. Kind of, do you know what I mean? I don't want to shit all over him, right? It's easy to do that after he's lost. He won that fight, and he deserved to win the fight, and he still beat a top heavyweight contender in my eyes. And then he beats Joyce twice, and you got to look at those, and they were impressive performances. To beat the boogeyman of the division, the granite chin fighter, who people were saying, at the time, people were saying Joyce beats AJ, and Joyce beats Wilder, and this, that, and Joyce beats Usyk. And Zhang walks in there, flatlines him in 6, and then doesn't flatline him in 6. Does it called off because of his eye. Fights him again in the rematch, and then flatlines him in 3, I think it was. They're impressive performances, but again, you watch them, and you have got to think styles make fights. When you look at boxing and actually look at it, don't just look at not the triangle theory, or this guy beat that guy and that guy beat the other. When you look at it and everyone chucks around these buzzwords, oh, styles make fights, and stylistically this, that, and the other. When they're not even looking into it, when you actually look at it, again, Joyce stylistically fits Zhang. He really struggles with the southpaw, clearly, and he walks on to fire. And when you're doing that against a bigger guy, a heavier guy, a stronger guy who's got a massive punch, it's only going to end one way. You know, that's why Usyk hasn't tried that since being in the heavyweight division. Because if you're going to try and walk down bigger guys, Joyce beat Parker doing that, fair enough. But if you're going to try and do that to Zhang, who's heavier than you, bigger than you, harder punch, and he's a southpaw, and you struggle with southpaws, it's going to end one way. Now, people look at it, and like I say, oh, stylistically, he's all wrong, and this, that, and the other. They just throw these words around. What's it? Is it Spencer Oliver and Simon? Simon. Do that little podcast, and God, I hear it all the time from Spencer. Stylistically, styles make fights, and you're just throwing it around. You're not actually looking into it. Do you know what I mean? When you look into it, again, Zhang was great for Parker, I think, because it pushes in. It's the first southpaw. I think that's the first southpaw Parker's fought as a pro. So I think, do I want to see the rematch? Not really. Initially, I said yeah, because it was a good fight. I was all for it. And you know what? I wouldn't be unhappy with it. I'm not going to sit and go, oh, we hate the fight. I wouldn't be unhappy with it. That's the first time Parker's fought a southpaw in a very long time. At least a very long time. So he's only going to get better the more he does it. Look at AJ Usyk 1 versus AJ Usyk 2. He's going to get better the more he does, and then Otto Wallin. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. He's now gone 12 rounds with him and knows how he fights. Zhang can try and change the game plan, but I don't think it'll work. He clearly tried to walk down Parker initially, like Joyce did. But like I said before, like I said in the preview, my final prediction, that's not how Zhang can fight. He's not got the gas tank for it. And at 40 years old, you're not going to get the gas tank for it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think that's going to work if you try and walk him down. I think Parker will just weather the storm and then do what he did in the last fight, which is just walk his way to a boxing decision. He's only going to get better at doing it. So do I think the rematch will go any differently? No. I think it'd be even more one-sided. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not overly happy for that. But then you got to look at it and go, the guy, and then, you know, and this also plays for the fact of the rematch. The guy's 40 years old. He's not got a lot of time left. He can't be fanning around with rematches that he's probably going to lose anyway. And why do we need to see the rematch? Like, he won the fight. Parker won the fight. He'll do it again. And there's no belt on the line. Okay, there's the interim I think it was interim, yeah, on the line, a mandatory one, whatever. There's no actual belt. So you're kind of thinking, I don't want to see it. So what next for him? Firstly, if I'm Zhang, you've got your loss. Other than Parker, who else? Hrgović. Try and avenge that. I'd chase that. Because I don't want to see the Parker rematch. I don't think he should have the Parker rematch either, because I think he'll do what Joyce did. And, you know, he beat you once, he'll beat you again. And do what Joyce did in taking the rematch. I'd chase that Hrgović one, because you don't want to drop too far down the run. And I think Hrgović might want that, because especially now he's seen Parker do it, he's going to want to put on an emphatic performance to right his controversial win. Zhang's going to want to beat avenge his loss. So, you know, Hrgović. Other than that, a Daniel Dubois, I'm just thinking, like, how far, if if Zhang wants to fight again, how far down the run, how far down the ladder, down the pecking order is he going to look? I don't think he's going to want to go too far. So, okay, maybe a Dubois. I think that could be a good one. I think Dubois needs to keep active and keep at a high level. Zhang too, especially at his age. So maybe a Dubois fight. I mean, look, I think Dubois wins that, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. I'll mention AJ because Usyk and Fury are tied up, and if they have a rematch and he needs to keep busy, I think AJ's going to go the Hrgović route, which obviously takes off Hrgović for Zhang as well. But I think if he goes the Hrgović route, he can't obviously fight AJ. I think AJ walks through him anyway. I think AJ walks through Zhang. I think he walks through Hrgović. Similar to how he did against Ngannou. Again, AJ's been sparring and fighting southpaws, 24 rounds against Usyk. Zhang's not Usyk. And then, 5 rounds against Otto Wallin, but the camp is still there. They're both southpaws. So I think Zhang, he's ready for it. He's used to it, walks through him. And I think the only other option for Zhang, other than retirement, which I don't think he's going to do, is White. Now, I've said, and I still think, I don't want to see White in there again. Look, I don't even know what's going on, because it's just the Texas Commission said he's okay to fight or something. So I don't even, what the fuck does that mean? Well, did he cheat or not contaminated substance? Or supplement. Was it? Look, I don't know. I don't think he should fight again, because one, it's the boy who cried wolf. Once, twice, 3 times, too many times. But he's coming back, and I can't stop that. Do you know what I mean? So who would I like to see him in there with? Maybe Zhang. That could be a good comeback fight for White. You're not going to get him out of there, so you better get your boxing on point. And Zhang, again, how far down the pecking order do you go? White's certainly in and amongst the... Well, I don't know. What level is White? Be a good fight. So I think for me, I'd either go Dubois. I'd chase the Hrgović rematch. I just don't think he's getting it. I think Hrgović might want it. I think Zhang's going to want it. But I think AJ is going to get Hrgović, which takes him out of the thing. So I'd steer clear of that Parker rematch, because he's just not... I'd steer clear of the Parker rematch. So then you're looking at, okay, Dubois or White. For me, that's what I'd be saying anyway. But you let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, people. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. People know how YouTube works. Take it easy. Peace.